Behind every game-winning shot, every record-breaking trade, and every championship ring, there's a mastermind at work. But who tops the list? Today we're speed ranking all 30 NBA GMs to find out, and we're doing it in just 10 minutes. But first, some ground rules. Some franchises have team presidents calling the shots. They will be entering the ring alongside the GMs. And then there are the newbies, 5 GMs who recently stepped in with a tenure too short for fair judgment. Alright, let's do this. Start the clock. Tim Connelly, a shock to some. You might be surprised to see this guy inside the top 20, the GM who trade anything, even his firstborn son, to nab Rudy Gobert. But Tim had a lot of goodwill built up before that deal. Tim Connelly sits comfortably at 16. Speaking of trades, let's acknowledge a GM who's known for making some good ones, John Horst. Not the best drafter and not a name you'll hear much, but what John Horst has been able to do in the offseason is nothing short of elite. He turned Eric Bledsoe and picks into Drew Holiday, then turned Drew Holiday and picks into Damian Lillard. Hurst at number 4. Troy Weaver, the guy with the bright future. Maybe his move to sign Jeremy Grant and then trade him a year later. Brilliant. But he also drafted Killian Hayes 7th overall, which was a huge mistake. Troy Weaver at number 23. At 13 and 14, we have a pair of West Coast heavyweights that do their damage through free agency, leveraging their squad's name, brand, and sunny weather to land top-end talent. Pelinka edges out due to his recent trade deadline performance. Pelinka at 13, James Jones right behind him at 14. Sean Marks, the Swiss Army exec. If there was a title for most versatile basketball executive, Marks might win it. From grassroots team building to netting big names, Marks can do it all. Neither route has brought the Nets to the promised land, but it is enough to land him at number 6. One glance at the Clippers roster, Kawhi, Russ, Paul George, and you'd expect their GM to be a front runner. But the biggest reason those guys are on the team is that they called Southern LA home long before they got to the league. Lawrence Frank gets props for drafting SGA in 2018, but also a hit for undervaluing him in a trade just a year later. Frank locks in at 20. Jeff Weltman, Orlando's Magic Man. Jeff took over in 2017 and has burned a few lottery picks along the way, but he also gets credit for trading Vooch at the absolute peak of his value. Throw in the fact that trade landed the Magic with Franz Wagner, and Jeff conjures a spot at number 21. And now, the man on the other end of that Vucevic deal, Arturas Karsanovas, the bad. He traded way too much for Vooch and signed Lonzo Ball, which looked like a good deal at the time, but faded quicker than those big baller brand shoes. Arturas at 24. Now we're making a big jump to discuss a GM with a long track record of success, Mitch Kupchak. Having been in Charlotte since 2018, Mitch's real triumphs took place as a Laker, from signing D. Fish and Metta World Peace, drafting Andrew Bynum, then bringing in Pau Gasol. He was a central figure in LA's back-to-back wins in 2009 and 2010. Now he's in Charlotte hoping he can recreate some of that success. Kupchak at 10. Quick reminder, y'all, stay tuned till the end for my top 3. Next up, Leon Rose, CAA legend. While simply forming the Villanova Wildcats doesn't earn top points, nabbing Jalen Brunson for a bargain does. With solid late-round picks like Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickley, Leon Rose comfortably sits at 12. Kobe Atman, GM of the Cavs, is next up. He took over after Kyrie shocked the world requesting a trade, and he's drafted well, acquired Donovan Mitchell, and hasn't done anything to set Cleveland back. Altman at 17. Next up, number 7, Monte McNair, the Dreammaker. After Vlade Divac stepped down, leaving nothing but broken promises in Sacktown, Monte McNair came in, lit the beam, and picked up the pieces. That's right, he's hit on every first-round pick he's had, and any GM with the balls to do what Monte did has my respect. Flipping Hallie for Sabonis when the whole world thought it was a mistake? Monte at 7. Next up, Darrell Morey, who made a name for himself being quick to trade a star and slow to let one go. He gets high praise for how he handled the Ben Simmons situation, more acclaim for drafting Tyrese Maxey, but I can't put you inside the top 10 if you can't keep your own house in order. Morey at 11. Zach Kleiman, Mr. I Don't Miss. Since taking the helm for the Grizzlies in 2019, Kleiman's knack for finding talent in the draft is unmatched. The meteoric rise of the Grizzlies, thanks to players like Ja, Bane, and Brandon Clark, is a testament to his skills as GM. Kleiman at 8. Moving from the sidelines to the front office, Brad Stevens shocked absolutely no one by being just as good. Key trades and acquisitions like Porzingis, Drew Holiday have ensured that the Celtics remain at the forefront of contention. Brad at 5. At 18, Rafael Stone is next up. Inheriting the Rockets amidst Harden's exit, Stone has done a good job acquiring talent and a poor job acquiring wins. Enough to land him at number 18. Brian Wright was brought in as GM in 2019. And if we're only counting moves since then, they've been good, not great. Drafting Vassell and Sohan, Wemby falling into their laps, Spurs front office combines to land at 19. Next up, a guy I'm not sure what to make of. Nico Harrison gave a mysteriously big bag to JaVale McGee, let Christian Wood walk, and brought in Kyrie. Everything around Luka right now feels disconnected, and for that, he lands at 25, last on my list. At 15, the Smoothie King savior, David Griffin. He did a good job getting LeBron what he needed in Cleveland and got off to a good start in New Orleans, but the rocky relationship with his star player Zion is less than ideal. Griffin at 15. At 22, Kevin Pritchard is responsible for one of the biggest busts in NBA history. Despite some early hiccups, Pritchard's tenure in Indiana has been solid, making a few good trades and pulling the trigger on the deal for Halliburton. Next up, Massai Ujiri. Beyond the monumental Kawhi trade that brought Toronto its first title, Ujiri's subtle moves have been equally impactful. Massai at 9. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button. Now let's get into the top 3. Pat Riley the Don. No, they didn't get Dame after he screamed from the mountaintops he only won in Miami, but don't let the recent failure make you forget about the long list of home runs from a guy called the Godfather of Basketball. Drafting D-Wade in 03, Bam in 17, trading for Alonzo Mourning in 95, Shaquille in 04, and don't forget the Heatles. I've got the Don, Pat Riley at 3. Next up, the shady salesman Danny Ainge. For being on the other end of the Rudy Gobert trade, he's top 10. For acquiring Ray Allen, KG, and drafting Rondo, he's top 3. Ainge's legacy is hard to challenge, but there's one GM who has a case. If you made this list in 2013, Sam Presti would probably be number 1. And 10 years later, nothing has changed. Far and away the best team builder in the league. He did it once with KD, James Harden, Russ. He's doing it again with Shea, Josh Giddey, and Chet. Oof. All right, y'all, that's my list, the top 30 GMs in the league. Before we get out of here, I want to tell you about the best men's hair care company in the game, EvanAlexanderGrooming.com. Y'all got the beard looking patchy, the hairline's creeping back. Take care of it and act now. EvanAlexanderGrooming.com. Make sure you guys plug in that promo code hoop_plug_ for a smooth 20% off. And as always, put some flavor in your hair. Catch y'all next time. Peace. Really